Beachbody champions. Oh my goodness. I am so excited to be here. I really am. And I'm excited to talk on the topic of live events and on team culture and the culture that you are creating. So if you're just now jumping on, can you say hi and tell me where you're from? I really want to know where you're from, because what I find is so cool about Beachbody is that we get to learn from people all over the United States, all over Canada, the UK, and I think that's super cool. So just tell me hi and where you're from. That would be so awesome of you. Awesome, yay. Hey, Darla. Yes, Kelly in the house. So exciting. Yeah, just tell me hi and where you're from. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, who I am, for those of you that don't know me. My name is Kelsey Shackley, and I have been in the business now for 5 years, which is crazy. It's just crazy to think about. And I am a mom and a wife first and foremost. I have a 3-year-old daughter and then identical twin girls who just turned 1 in December. I went, to college and I graduated, and I got my RN degree, or graduated, and I am a registered nurse, and I got a job at a local children's hospital. I worked in the emergency room for almost 8 years. And so for all those nurses out there, gosh, you're amazing. You're amazing. I worked the 12-hour shifts. I worked the weekends, the holidays. I mean, it was crazy, and my heart goes out to you, because that was one of the reasons I decided to go all in the business, is because I wanted more for my family and I wanted that time freedom. I didn't want to have to wake up Christmas morning and tell my kids, I'm sorry, mommy has to work Christmas this year. And I didn't want to have, my family doesn't live locally, and I was working weekend option for a while, and I just didn't want that to be my forever life. And so I seen this opportunity as an incredible opportunity and an incredible gift to be able to give other people. So that's a little bit about me and where I came from. And so when I was working as an RN, I was a newly married woman, and I was just ready to get into a fit and healthy lifestyle. And I was working night shift, and I had tried the gym. For me, I would try the treadmill, I would do different things, throw around some weights, and I just wasn't seeing the results that I personally wanted to see. So, and the group fitness classes just weren't in my timing with working night shift. They were either earlier or later, and it was just not working with my sleep schedule. Therefore, I wasn't staying consistent with my fitness, right? And we all know that consistency is the key in unlocking our fitness and our health goals. So that's when I was trying to find some home workout programs that would be right for me. And I am the girl that had the borrowed P90X burned copy. That was me. I also found TurboFire off Amazon. So totally me. I was that person that did these workouts but without a coach. And I was falling in love with my results, how I was feeling, and that's when I found my coach, Janelle Summers. She's amazing, those of you that follow her. And I started craving her posts. I started intentionally going to her Facebook, finding helpful recipes, helpful tools that was keeping her motivated, because I was being drawn to that. I was finally able to stay consistent. And so one day I decided to reach out to her, because I was seeing these posts randomly saying, so-and-so was emerald and so-and-so went diamond. And I'm like, what is she talking about? So I was like, I'll just shoot her a message. She probably won't message me back, but I'll see, what she says. She messaged me back. And so I started asking her about, what is this coaching thing? And it really sparked my interest, but I had some hesitations in the fact that I am not a salesperson, so much so that when I was going through college, I worked at the Buckle. And you guys know, they're commission based. I sucked. Literally, I sucked. I worked out on the floor for 2 weeks, and they nicely were just like, yeah, Kelsey, you're going to actually go to the back room and you're going to unload the shipment and put the security sensors on all the clothes. So I'm not a salesperson. So it was like a huge fear of mine. But when I learned more about, from Janelle, that this is really not about that. It's about helping people. It's about working on being better yourself. I thought, okay, this is something that's in my blood. Like, I'm a registered nurse. Like, I want to help and serve other people. And I remember asking my husband about it, and he was like, absolutely not. Kelsey, you are not going to do that. Like, not my wife. My wife is not going to be posting those salesy things on Facebook and social media. And so he was kind of at that point where he was like, okay, well, you think about it for like a month. And if after a month you're still thinking about it, we'll re-talk about this. And so at that point, I wasn't sleeping. I literally was having dreams of how I was going to help people and change people's lives. And I was so excited. And at that month point, I was like, okay, I have to ask him again. Like, I really need him to support me in this. And so finally he was just kind of like, okay, do it. That'll be your thing. And I'll support you, but that'll be your thing. And so I went in and I joined. And at that point I started seeing emails coming in from Janelle because I was now on her team. And she was telling me and the team about her Super Saturday and how amazing it was going to be. And I'm sure she told me that that there was a local one that I could attend, but for some reason, the only thing I kept seeing was her Super Saturday, how amazing it was going to be in Toledo, Ohio, and I wanted to be there, and I'm from Kansas City, and so what I did was I purchased a ticket, and I bribed my husband into going with me. I was like, we were all into Dave Ramsey, and so I thought, well, we'll listen to Dave Ramsey the whole way to Toledo, Ohio. A 13-hour car ride. We listened to Dave Ramsey. And we get there, and literally Super Saturday changed the game for me. I met Janelle. I met so many amazing people. The energy, the vibe. I was surrounded with people who were like me, who also wanted to be better, who also wanted to help other people, who wanted to make health and fitness a lifestyle. Like, this is the type of people I was then surrounding myself with for the first time ever. And the feeling like, I know it was mutual even with my husband because this was both of our first live event. And he's like, oh my gosh, like the energy from this event is just crazy. It's contagious. And so after Super Saturday, we're all sitting around the table at Panera. And I will never forget, Janelle looks at me and she says, you're going to Summit, right? And I was like, no, I actually work that weekend. And in that moment, I was like, I have to figure out how to get to Summit. It's 2 months away. I was a brand new coach. Remind you, I didn't have one coach on my team. I wasn't Emerald. Literally, I was like, I have to get to Summit. So I get home and I'm trying to get out of working that weekend. And meanwhile, I'm messaging. Like, I met some other girls there at that Super Saturday, and I'm like, do you have anybody that you know of that I could room with? She's like, yeah, sure enough. I can get you this girl. She's a girl on my team. I think you'll hit it off with her. Shout out Laura Prince if you're watching this live video. And so I end up rooming with a complete stranger. So if you're on the other end of this video and you're thinking, I'm a brand new coach, I know nobody, get yourself to Summit because that was a game changer for me. I roomed with a complete stranger, yes, but I learned so much at that Summit. The energy, the vibe. Again, it was like Super Saturday on steroids. And the fact that I was meeting people of all different backgrounds, people who went to college, people who were stay-at-home moms, people that still had weight to lose, people that had been in the business a long time, other brand new coaches. And I was hearing everybody's stories. And through everybody's stories, I was saying, oh my gosh, well, if she can do it, why can't I do it? This person, well, she's a registered nurse too. If she can do it, why can't I do it? And so I started really developing that mindset of, if she can do it, why can't I? And it was at Summit that I developed that mindset. And there's no way that I would be here today if it wasn't without Super Saturday and Summit. So I really encourage you to take that leap of faith. And I know it's going to be out of a lot of your comfort zones, but to do it and to grab on and embrace it and talk to people and step outside your comfort zones, because it's all worth it. The best thing that I learned from all of this was that Janelle had an amazing team culture. I was a part of this team culture that everybody was going to Summit, and there was all this energy in the team page, all this energy wrapped around, if you're working your business, you need to show up at live events. You need to be on team trainings. You need to be plugged in. I mean, she'd make a post on her team page and it would blow up, like everybody, just the excitement, the energy, and it was so contagious. And I took that for granted because I thought it would naturally come easy for me too. And what I've learned is I've had to work really hard at getting the culture that Janelle has. So what I did is I took notes, and I was taking notes on what kind of vibe do I want my culture to have? Because it doesn't have to be the same. So I was like, I want my team to be authentic. I want them to be real. I want us to feel connected. I want to have a ton of energy. I want that excitement going on. I want it to feel that way. And so what I quickly learned was that I had two things holding me back. The first was fear of failure, and the second was fear of what other people were going to think of me. And so I had to take a step back, and I had to say, well, fear of failure, how do you fail? Kelsey, the only way you fail is if you quit. I'm not going to quit. And if I fail, I'm learning. And so I'm just going to learn, and I'm going to grow, and I'm going to tweak what's working, what's not working. There is no failure in this, right? And so next, that one, right? The other one was fear of what other people were going to think of me. And what I've quickly learned watching successful people is that they don't really pay attention to everybody's opinions. They're very careful on whose opinions they're going to take. So for example, in fitness, you watch your fitness like role model, right? Are you going to listen to them on what they're eating, how they're working out? Or are you going to listen to your neighbor who's 50 pounds overweight and watching a lot of TV and doing nothing for their health and fitness? Who do you want to emulate, right? And so you don't want to listen to the people's opinions of the life that you don't want to have. So you want to listen to the opinions of the people that you want to be, like the direction that you want to go, right? Same is true in this business. Drown out the negativity and the people's lives that you don't want to be in 5, 10, 15 years from now. Focus on the people's lives that you want to be in 5, 10, 15 years from now, and take their advice. Listen to what they have to say. And so in that moment, I was like, okay, well, these are silly, Kelsey. They're fears, but get over yourself, right? And so I realized quickly that's just being selfish, right? And so in that moment is when I said, okay, there are 3 areas in culture that I want to create. And I want the goal to be high energy, high excitement, authentic, and real. That is what I want my culture to feel. And so there's really like 2 roads in our business, right? There's the health and fitness road, and then there's our team and coaching road. But with both of those roads, they meet. And where they meet is social media. And in social media, again, this is where we're attracting people into our boot camps, our challenge groups, and into our coaching. So this is where we need to be real, be excited, have high energy, and be authentically you. When you do that, you will attract the right people into your boot camps. And in our boot camps, this is where we want to continue that layer. And so we want to be helpful, right? We want to be high energy in there. In our boot camps, in our team, we have a boot camp for their entire team that can bring on people in there, right? And so all of the coaches, our newer coaches, our veteran coaches, that are in our boot camps have what's called Fit Family Success Pods. And that is just for your people that you have invited, that have joined you, who have said yes to you, and it's a message thread on Facebook. And it's where you connect with them every single day. But our boot camp has a theme. So all of our themes are different every single month, and it's what we personally need in our lives. So I have done the book Grace Not Perfection. Last year was like a crazy year for me, just the twin mom life, and threw me for a curve. So that's what I needed for personal development, to speak into me. And I knew that there would be other moms needing to hear that too. So picking a book that speaks to you and having that be your theme in your boot camp has been huge. The other thing that we do is virtual workouts on Zoom. So we have different time slots, and each coach has a different time slot with what they're hosting. And everybody gets on Zoom, and we all work out together virtually while we're on BOD and doing our workout. So that has created, again, that extra layer of accountability, an extra layer of support, and it's really motivated people to keep going, because we all know it's not easy, right? But it's simple. And so that has really worked for us. And we also do monthly boot camp calls on Zoom. So we have a success story from the month prior that comes on, they share their story. And this is where, if they're not a coach yet, they're getting their feet wet with coaching. They're sharing their story, and they're excited because what they're doing is working. And when you're getting results with something, that energy is contagious. It's like when you go to an amazing restaurant and you're like, oh, this was so good. You want to tell your best friends about it because it was that good, right? You're like, girlfriend, next date night, you need to go to this restaurant because it was so good. It's the same way in our boot camps, and when challengers see success, they naturally want to tell people about it because they're excited, right? So we do our monthly kickoff calls is what we call them for our boot camps, and we have a success story in them. And then, so that's like the boot camp round of it, or challenge group, whatever you call yours. And then the other road in our business is our coaching, right? So in our team pages, what I personally do is I created a mission statement for our team. And this is what spun my mission statement goes back to the whole fear I was talking about. So our team name is Real Women Conquer. And our mission statement is Real Women Conquering Our Fears to help others become physically, spiritually, and financially fit. And so why I created that is because I know that if I have those fears, my team is going to have those fears. So it's that constant reminder that we're having to conquer our own fears to help others. And that's a normal thing that each of us goes through. Our fears may look a little different, but we're going to have to conquer those if we want to continue leaving a legacy and a bigger impact on other people. And so remembering that's your mission statement, right? So that's one thing I did. The other thing I did is plug people into what we call success pods, which are group message threads on Facebook. These people have very similar goals. They're in a very similar spot in their business, and they're helping each other. So if your upline isn't doing this, that's okay. Create your own momentum, create your own little pod full of people that you've connected to and say, let's do this, let's push together for a common goal. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't wait for an upline or for somebody to tell you that that's what you should do. Just do it if you like the idea, right? Okay, so the next thing I do is I feel like we have a ton of training out there, which I'm so blessed that we do. National Wake Up Call, my upline has a team weekly call, and then this page has amazing calls. And so what we do on our team is what's called the weekly game plan call. And every week I jump on a call on Sunday night and I walk them through exactly my thought process for the upcoming week. What is my focus going to be? What are my goals for the week? How am I going to strategically post things to create curiosity instead of being a billboard, right? And so I'm sharing with them exactly what I'm doing. And one of the things that we do together as a team is we have lead generator night. What that is a call to action post that we all do together, and I post it in the team page, and I say, we're all doing it at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. Comment below done when you're finished with your post. That way we can go to each other's posts and comment and like and support each other, because we all know that's a fear a lot of us have, especially if it's a transformation post or if it's a post that you're inviting to something that you're just like, oh, this makes me want to vomit a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe just me, but I feel like it's really awesome to have that support of others. So having that lead generator post has been amazing. I love recognition and recognizing my team. And the reason I do that is because I feel like that when you have that culture of just celebrating people's wins, whether it's transformations, whether it was an amazing post they did, and I recognize it and call it a rockstar post alert, and I'll share it into our team page. We also do, weekly Success Club shout outs. We celebrate new coaches coming on. We also, I created a new rank called the CZ Pod, Cubic Zirconia. And it's basically a step between emerald and diamond. And I did that because sometimes that step it can feel pretty large from emerald to diamond. So I created a Cubic Zirconia because it's just feeling like one more thing to celebrate, one more thing to get excited about. And it's basically for coaches. So a person, once they go emerald again, and they're now in our Cubic Zirconia Success Pod, and they're pushing for diamond together. So that's what I do with that. And really, I just feel like at the end of the day, we all have gone through hard times. We've all gone through a period where we're thought, can I make it out of this? Like when my first year of being a twin mom, studying for the NCLEX to get my registered nurse. I mean, those were times in my life I thought I was going to pull my hair out, and I didn't know if I was going to make it out alive. And I want you to think of those times that's happened to you in your life. And I want you to think about putting that in like your success folder, success file in the back of your mind, and saying, I've done this before. I can do this. I've done it before in this area of my life. I don't know about any of you, but when I became a mom for the first time, I was extremely excited, extremely nervous, had no idea what I was doing because they don't come with a manual. Like, they just don't. Come on, children, come with a manual. And so coaching is that exact same way. Coaching and creating culture is that exact same way. It doesn't come with a manual. You have to learn as you go, but know that you've been there before as a mom, becoming a mom. You've been there before because, Kelsey, you passed the NCLEX. You've been there before because you survived your first year with twins. You can do this too. It's just trial and error. It's tweaking as you go. And I want to leave you with this. The speed of the leader is the speed of the team. So don't rely on your upline or anybody else in this business to create that culture and create that excitement. You define how you want your culture to be, and you start being that. You create that energy. You create that excitement, or whatever you want it to be. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. Comment below if you have any questions, and I will get to it later today. I hope you have a great day.